All right, how we doing? Let me know if you're watching this thing live or if you're watching the replay. Give me a little hashtag replay. Good to see you. My name's Defi Mike. We got the SR hat. This ain't my first rodeo. I've been in crypto and Web3 and that whole space for the past 7.5 years. I've been an entrepreneur for the past decade. We've built multiple businesses, made a good amount of money, and now we're just having some fun on YouTube. And a couple things here I want to share with you. As you're tuning in, feel free to share this with somebody that has some questions. I really want to answer this question is, will stocks and crypto drop tomorrow? And I'm going to answer that over the next couple of minutes as we look at some data, some reports. If you've been here the past couple of nights, we've been live. We've actually caught some live trades. We actually had something really nice play out on USD CAD. That is actually not even a crypto or a stock, but it's a currency, and we were able to give you some analysis and kind of seeing how price is hanging out here. It looks like maybe this thing might want to come back before it drops, or we might just actually start to fall to the downside. So if you're new here, let me know in the chat where you're tuned in from. My voice is literally shot. I've been taking these like hauls. Y'all ever use these hauls? So forgive me if I sound a little raspy, but big news here today for retail and really for all of crypto is Robinhood, which it may look like Robinhood is going to be the, I don't want to say competitor to Coinbase because Coinbase is probably in a league of its own, but Coinbase, uh, Robinhood purchasing Bitstamp for 200 million. I believe Bitstamp was evaluated at one point for like $500 million. So this might be a really good deal. There are some rumors that now Robinhood would list something like XRP potentially on Robinhood. And maybe for the love of all of us in crypto, XRP would go above $1. But right now, we're just praying that it goes above, it stays above 50 cents. So, pretty big news there. I'm not sure if y'all have seen this, but this dude might be a billionaire tomorrow, Mr. Roaring Kitty himself. There's a movie out called Dumb Money on Netflix. I don't really watch too much TV shows, but highly recommend going and taking a look at that. And tomorrow, if GameStop goes to $67 a share, this dude becomes a billionaire. What's up, Tanisha? Junior said, good evening, I'm new. Welcome. Well, yeah, we're just hanging out here, talking markets, talking life. Feel free to subscribe and stick around. So this is actually pretty insane. He actually took a big position on some call options, which yeah, he's heavily in profit. And right now, let's take a look at what he actually scheduled, that he's doing a YouTube live tomorrow, and post market went crazy. Um, GameStop's up 50% today. Obviously, the market's closed. And if GameStop can literally get back to this high, he would have $1 billion net worth. So talk about kicking it to the banks. They made a movie on this guy. Congress right now is trying to find a way, really by the morning, to like eliminate this dude because he is he's on a mission. So he bought $180 million of call options on GameStop. So he didn't buy the share, he bought the options, and he might even be able to exercise those and completely drain the swamp, if you know what I'm saying. So right now, this guy is beating the banks, and we love to see it. Love to see it. So if there's any questions on here, I'm not really sure how long we're going to go for. I got the NBA Finals on. The Celtics are destroying the freaking Mavericks right now, but it's okay. Mavs in six, hopefully, right? Um, but I know we were kind of monitoring a couple things here going into tomorrow, right? Tomorrow we have unemployment rate, NFP. How is the U.S. Unemployment rate data going? My guess is that we remain at 3.9, maybe even tick up to 4. And if that takes place, we will most likely see the dollar give us that push down, which is really what I want to see. I want to see the dollar kind of come in somewhere in here. And maybe we get a reversal to the upside from that level. But that would be really nice for our USD CAD position to play out. And let's see if we can get this break to the downside. Also, I do have a long position on Casper right now. We took it right there. Seeing if this is going to stick as well. Caspa is definitely a very interesting project. This has been, kind of running, obviously, kind of creating some liquidity here. Market kind of broke. Let's see if we even have a fib level here. It'd be tough to where we would even draw this. What if you go from like this low to this high? We had an 80% retracement on Caspa. Disclaimer, I do not have any Caspa in my portfolio. Mike trades Forex. Yeah, he does. Of course. When you understand trading, you can trade any market. Mike, could you explain a little bit about airdrops? Yeah, I'll give the premise on it. I mean, airdrops are rewards, right? It's a lot of times it's when a project is dropping and they want to reward. Maybe if you were using the Ethereum network, maybe if you were using the Solana network, maybe if you're holding an NFT or other specific amount or another token, if you're holding, let's say, Uniswap, and there's an airdrop that comes into the market and they're collaborating with Uniswap. It's basically free tokens. Some airdrops, some airdrops you have to work for, which means you have to stake, or you have to like provide liquidity, or you have to do transactions. So you have to like operate on the network, and then by you doing these things, you can lead to some free tokens. Now, to be honest, a lot of airdrop tokens don't really do too well in the beginning. Like Looks Rare, for example, this was a massive airdrop that happened. And it was like if you were using the Ethereum network, they gave you some Looks Rare tokens, or if you were using OpenSea or whatever. And Looks Rare did an airdrop, but here's the thing. Their token price, and also they were doing like some staking and stuff. But they did an airdrop, I remember it was like a couple dollars. Free tokens, right? Ran up to $6 and then boom, just sold off. Now, NFTs are down, so Looks Rare is down, but they've kind of pivoted in some other directions. I am holding some Looks Rare. I'm no longer accumulating this project at all. I made my money on it. I'm still holding a pretty decent amount, and we will see what happens in the bull market with Looks Rare. See how they pivot. They're still building, but we'll see. So like that was an example. Like airdrop, a lot of people get the token, and then you just sell it. That's how it is. Another one was Optimism. Now, Optimism, if you would have held this airdrop, you would actually be in profit, because Optimism's airdrop, I want to say it was in like under $1. I want to say it was like 40, 50, 60 cents. I think they sent me 400 Optimism for free. And I did sell, actually. I did sell, I think, at $2 or something. Some of them, I don't know why. I think I needed money for gas fees or something stupid. 2 or 250 or whatever. But yeah, this one went almost to $5. So if you had 400 for free and it goes to $5, free $2,000. So usually I won't sell airdrops. Another one, if you were holding XRP, this was a Flare token. I can't remember the price the airdrop was. It is $1 billion market cap. Flare is actually a very interesting project. Flare's airdrop was at 4 cents, went all the way down to 1 cent, back to 5 cents. I don't even know where my Flare is. It's somewhere in one of my wallets, but this was an airdrop for holding XRP. It was very simple. The more XRP you hold or held, the more tokens you got. And I'm not going to go into that right now. I have a book called DeFiEbook.com. If you haven't read this, highly recommend reading this. It's a great starting point. I'm going to put a link in the chat here. It's a free ebook I put together over 16 months ago. We've had about 20,000 people read this book all around the world. Some people even print them out. Some people have translated the book. Really cool. It's 11 pages. A second grader could read the damn thing. And we talk about tokenomics in there. And when you understand like how this token Flare has 102 total supply, 102 million, wait, 102 billion, but then circulating supply 40 billion, there's a lot of tokens that still haven't come into the market. One of the reasons why I'm not that bullish on things like Arbitrum, okay, take a look at this. They have almost, okay, they actually just did a massive unlock. So that's why. But about a month ago, they only had 1 billion tokens circulating with the 10 billion max supply. They just dumped a lot of tokens on the market, which kind of makes sense on why that news led to price kind of falling. And let's actually take a look at Arbitrum, because I'm not against accumulating. Yeah, let me know in the chat if you've actually read it and give me some feedback. I always love feedback. I will be working on a couple more different books this year. I'm going to be traveling here this upcoming week and actually mapping some of that stuff out. So looking at like Arbitrum, for example, it's not at a terrible level because Arbitrum is gonna find a way to get some institutional money in it. We do have these equal highs right here. Where do I find the book? The link is right there, defiebook.com. Stelia said, Reddit, highly suggested. Natasha said, book is priceless. Appreciate you, Natasha. Good to see you. So like something like Arbitrum with not the best tokenomics, but the more tokens that go into circulation, for example, fully diluted. This is something I teach you in the book. It's the market, it's the current price, this number, times if all of the tokens were in supply. So FDV would be this number multiplied by the max or the total supply, depends if it has a max. So 10 billion. So here's the thought process is, will Arbitrum be valuable enough one day to have over a $10 billion market cap? And if you think the answer is yes, then you can accumulate on the way down. If you don't think so, then you might not want to hold a project long term. I really hope this is helping you. This right here, what I just said, is worth being on the stream here tonight. If you don't think it's valuable enough to get to this number, then you might not want to hold that project or that coin long term. Okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about here. For example, Bitcoin is 21 million tokens. But does everybody see how the fully diluted is so close to the market cap? I mean, it can get to this number in a couple of hours, in like an hour, right? A little bit of purchasing. So is Bitcoin going to be more valuable than 1.4 billion, 1.4 trillion dollars in market cap? Yes or no in the chat? Stelios, that might be what I'm working on next. Can't tell you yet. That's what that you're on to something. So yes or no? Would Bitcoin be worth more than $1.5 trillion in FDV? Of course. So supply, demand, more demand pushes price up. Now, some projects don't have a max supply. Like, for example, Ethereum. Some Ethereum is created every day, and then some Ethereum is destroyed every day. That's just how it is, okay? You can see here, Ethereum also now has become deflationary, where every time some Ethereum is sent, every time an NFT is minted or burned, or you're doing a transaction on anything with ETH, some Ethereum gets destroyed. Make sure you drink some water today. Okay? That's very important to understand. These are things that we call tokenomics. I go over it in that book. I have other videos, and I'll make more videos if you guys want more videos on tokenomics on this channel. Like Solana, for example, it has a total supply, but it doesn't have a max supply, which means more tokens can come into the game. Solana can create more tokens. Now, will they? I don't think so right now, but They could. So you just need to know these things. Okay. There's a thing called a smart contract. Smart contract is really what the technology is, and it's based on if and then statements. If Natasha opens up her laptop between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m., if she opens up her laptop, then this screen is going to pop up. You can set that in a smart contract. If Stelios does not reply to Natasha after 6 hours and 4 minutes, send an emoji in an email with an encryption with this picture. You can do that in a smart contract. That's just an example. Those are stupid ass examples, but if and then statements. Okay. Now, for example, FDV of Solana is 98 billion. Has Solana had 98 billion in the market cap before? No, it has not. It's gotten close, but it has not. Would everybody agree that Solana is going to be valued at over $100 billion in market cap one day? I think so. Now, here's what I'll kind of tell you is you can go to this website, companiesmarketcap.com, and I want to show you something. When we're looking at market cap, this is worth the entire time here tonight. Okay? When I have a holes in my mouth. Literally my voice is not doing well right now. We're gonna wrap up here soon. But Solana doesn't even have 100 billion. But let's say, will Solana be worth over 100 billion? I think so. I think very soon. I want to take you back to this NVIDIA chart. Okay. NVIDIA during COVID had 100 billion. Think with me here for a second. Within 1 year and a half, it went up 7 times. It went from 100 billion to 800 billion in a year and a half, and this is a stock. Okay? So when people say things like, well, could Solana catch Ethereum in price? Maybe, maybe not. But could it catch it in market cap? Ethereum is only at 457. And I just showed you NVIDIA that went from 100 billion to 800 billion in a year and a half. And the reason that I give that example, and I'm not saying any of these are the next NVIDIA, but I'm giving this example is when smart money wants to come in and when institutional money wants to come in and when something gets so much attention and you're positioned before the attention, I'm not talking meme coins, I'm talking real valuable projects. And you can determine if Solana is valuable to you or Ethereum or Bitcoin. That's up to you to get educated on. But guess what? Oh, Dallas is coming back. Let's go. Mavs in 6. If you determine something's valuable, then guess what? Wealth is created through what? Wealth is created through something called holding. And averaging in on dips. You know, how many of y'all are playing the long-term game here? I mean, I'm playing so long-term, but I'm also playing short-term. I'm also in a USD CAD short. I'm also in a scalp to the upside on Caspa on one of my accounts. I'm also in a long on Solana that we're still holding, right? Closed out partials. So I'm trading, okay? I learned trading first, or excuse me, I learned the power of building a portfolio first, and then I started taking trading very seriously about 5 years ago. Really 4 years ago, 2020. But I had already established a well over a 6-figure portfolio by that point already in 2020. Because I understood that if I make money, what do I do with it? What do most people do with it? Spend it. Okay, we know what happens if you spend it, it ends, it doesn't come back. You probably have heard that you've heard that saying before. But when you invest it, you put something in with the expectation that you're going to get something back. Now, guess what? Some investments you make will go to zero. Some investments you make will not pan out. Some investments that you make won't do the percentage that you think they're going to do. And my advice for you as we wrap this up is don't get attached to your investments. Don't get attached to things. You know, I have one watch that's worth whatever. It doesn't matter. That watch, I'll never sell it because it was my first watch that I really wanted, and I'll pass that down to my kids one day. But let's say I buy another watch. That watch I will not be attached to. If I buy another watch, that watch will be for what purpose? Wear it, enjoy it, and then sell it at a higher price. That's how I want you to think. I'm going to enjoy that portfolio gain with all these cryptos, but I'm not attached to Solana. I'm not attached to Bitcoin. Maybe you want to be a little bit more attached to that till it gets above six figures at least. But I'm not attached to these coins that mean nothing for me. Somebody the other day, they told me, they said, Mike, I made $6,000 in my portfolio. And they were like, that's not enough. That they're like, it's so little compared to how what all these other people are making. And I said, let me ask you a question. How much money is your car payment every month? And that person told me their car payment was about $600 a month. I said, person, you just did 10 months of your car payment. I'm not telling you to use that to pay for your car, but you just paid 10 months of your car. I said, would that alleviate some stress out of your life? Give you a little bit more peace of mind? One less bill you even have to think about for the next 10 months. In the next 10 months, you're gonna have a brand new damn car. And he said, wow, that's such a good way of looking at it. Meek Mill says, we used to pray for times like this, right? In that rap song. Don't forget where you started. Number one, I think this is valuable enough to write this down. Let's actually really go through this. Number one is do not forget where you started. Okay. It is perspective. And I think sometimes we get into this stage where we compare, oh my God, that person on Instagram is making all this money. Well, are they? Like, have you actually seen the bank statements? And you don't need to ask. Nobody cares. Like, you don't think you don't think I'm doing well? I don't give a shit. I can care less. Excuse my language, but I don't really care. The last thing you want to do, though, is compare yourself. When I see people doing better than me, when you see people doing better than you, let me ask you this. How does it make you feel? Does it get you angry? Does it get you mad? Oh my God, I can't believe they have that happy relationship or that car or that house. How does it make you feel? And I'll be honest, that used to make me feel the type of way when I saw people doing better than me because I'm very competitive. Put a 5 in the chat if you're a competitive person. I played sports my whole life. Okay. After I was done with baseball, entrepreneurship became my sport. But I used to compare myself. Damn. Wow. Look at what they have. And instead, I said, oh my God. Instead of comparing, let me use that to motivate me for what I will have. If I earn it, if I do some work, if I pay the price, if I don't quit, if I don't give up. When I see people with a family, right, a happy marriage and kids, I'm like, okay, one day that's going to be my life. I don't know when. One day. When I see people driving a nice car, a lot of people, they go, oh my God, they have a nice car. They sell drugs. What? They can't build a business. They can't do real estate. They can't be a successful trader or investor. Went to the gas station yesterday to get some coconut water. Gentleman, 50 years old maybe, Rolls-Royce Cullinan, $600,000. Parked right next to me. It's very common. South Florida. I've been in that car. I've driven that car before. I don't have one, but and I kind of looked at him and it was like he kind of thought I was going to say something, or he kind of looked at me like I was going to take a picture of the car, but it's normal. You want to go to places and see things and experience things where when you see that, it's amazing. That guy probably worked his ass off to get to that car or whatever. You also don't know background situation, but the way he looked at me was like, he like wanted me to, how do I say it? He like wanted me to give him a compliment. And I just kind of looked at him and I got in my car and I left. Um, but that does motivate me to an standpoint. Wow, if that guy did it, I know I can as well. It's not up for me to say, oh, he bought that car with drug money. Like that's a poor thing to say. That's a poverty mindset thing to say. And I was on the phone, so I couldn't even give him a compliment. I just looked at him. Okay. So number one is don't forget where you started. Number two is don't compare. And number three is stick to your plan. Some of us right now, we're on a plan that in 2 years and 3 years and 4 years, we'll be financially independent. And then it might be a couple more years till financial freedom. Like, I don't know where you're at, but I know there's a plan that you have to stick through. And there's levels of things, right? Um, Financial independence, right, is when all your bills and more are paid for. Financial freedom is when you can not do anything and still get paid. Um, and then there's levels to that as well. There's levels to it, right? Put a one if you understand that there's levels to it. But if you stick to your plan in trading and investing and whatever you're doing, I believe that good things are going to show up. I believe that great things are about to show up. Now you're saying, well, Mike, why don't you just talk about the charts? And we can, but none of that matters if you don't understand these things. Nothing matters if your mindset's messed up. Because if your mindset's messed up, here's what takes place. You get all this money and then you, poof, gone. You make some money. Oh, you made 100K. Cool. That's cute. One bad purchase, the 100K is gone. Oh, you made 1 million. Congratulations. First millionaire in your family. Congratulations. Buy a property at the wrong time in the wrong area. Sell it when it goes down in value. Don't pay your taxes. Oof, that $1 million is just like that. Okay. And that's why every day, okay, your goal is just to learn, to get better. So if this is you, it's a funny picture. Every day, let me ask you a question is what are you putting into your mind? What are you putting into your brain? What are you listening to? Who are you spending time with? Right? Are your friends that you're spending time with gossiping? Talking about other people? Or the people that you're spending time with, focused on goals, focused on how do we get to the next place in our lives. Give me something in the chat, a book that you're reading, an audio that you're listening to. Because a lot of us, we want to go forward, right? We want to go from whatever this is, doesn't matter. But we want to go like to this, to forward, but we keep talking about who we were. We keep talking about what we did. We keep talking about the old trades that we took. We keep talking about the money that we used to have. We keep talking about the old relationship that we were in. Keep talking about the old business that we built. And like we're going so far left on my, and for me, it's left, going backwards that will never go forward because we're so worried about past. Tanisha said The Compound Effect, incredible book. I've met Darren Hardy. He's the real deal. Atomic Habits, incredible book. How to Be a Stoic. Haven't read it, but it's a good book, great book to keep calm on bad situations. That's true. I always tell people how you handle the down will determine how long it takes for you to get back up. And some of us, we deal with it in different ways. Some of us, we deal with it in isolation. Some of us, we deal with it in bad habits. Some of us, we deal with it in our own ways. But how you deal with it or how you handle it and how long you handle it for in that bad way does matter. Sonia said Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is the GOAT. Yeah, there's no Tony Robbins without Jim Rohn. There's no Brian Tracy without Jim Rohn. There's no, man, so many people that we listen to. Brendan Brochard. There's no Brendan Brochard without Jim Rohn. Um, almost all the personal development comes from Jim Rohn and then his mentors as well. And that leads to eventually to God. Do the new you, Stephen Furtick. Incredible. So I hope this has been helpful. This will probably be the last live of the week. We have some updates here. PayPal's having a very nice day here in the market. First day, they were launching with Solana. PayPal stablecoin on Solana went live today. Stock shot up 5%. Really nice move for PayPal. If you see something like this on PayPal, that would be probably that last accumulation level in the mid 50s if we get that pullback. Riot Games, there was a short squeeze on Riot yesterday. A bank came out and said that we're trying to short the hell out of it, which caused this wick. And if you look at this and if you understand smart money, all it did was just fill that mitigation, and now price is pushing to the upside here on Riot. You can see actually this spike in volume right here. Market shot up, another spike, market kind of came down. So even if this thing were to come back into this zone, I really like Riot at that level. But yeah, we're chilling. We got USD CAD still doing USD CAD things, doing nothing. Appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. Always appreciate if you guys can hit the like button. Always sharing this, even if you're sending this to like your friend, whether they listen to it or not. Sharing these videos definitely helps. And most importantly, subscribe and do some homework on myself and go through the channel. We've called out some pretty cool things on this channel. Look forward to making some more videos for you guys this upcoming week and dropping it next week. So yeah, USD CAD's playing out. Did take a long position here on Caspa. This is a very interesting project. I know a good amount. Don't know everything about Caspa. Gonna do more of a deep dive as well probably this weekend on stuff like Caspa. That ghost code that all the blockchains are built on, and it does have a max supply. And honestly, it's at an all-time high right now. So 4 billion market cap. Man, if we could have caught ETH at a 4 billion market cap, not saying it's the next ETH, not saying that, but a little 100x if that does take place, that would be nice. So, all right, guys, I hope you all have a great rest of your night, great weekend, much love.